Phony homies, it's week 11, and we discussed this past week's injuries, this coming week's ads off the waiver wire, and a ton of Bears news. Are you ready? Let's go. Hello, welcome to another fantastic episode of the Fake Football Guys Show. I'm your host, Giancarlo Campos, and alongside me is the bearded man, the one and only Dustin Lingaman. What's up, baby? What's going on?
What's up, man?
Not much, man. Another day, another dollar. You know how it goes.
Yeah. I'm so excited, y'all. I'm so
Dude,
excited.
Me too.
Winning.
Dude. Yeah, well, let's get started right off the bat. How you doing in your leagues?
That's a great question. Okay, so in our home league, I'm sitting at number 2, catching up to the Wombat, which I have a story about him, and we'll get to that a little bit later. My 14-man league, I'm sitting at number 6, which isn't bad. 14, like better than half. So still a lot to go. I mean, that league is crazy. We're all pretty tight. In one of my standard leagues, I am number 1, baby. Number 1. I am 8-2. And the best part about that is my brother-in-law, after I drafted my team, said, like, wow, that is the worst team I've ever seen. Ever.
Great. I love that.
Like, really?
I love when they could rub it in. I love that.
Yeah. And so each week I just kind of do a screenshot. I'm like, worst team, huh? And yeah, he's sitting like dead last. So that's pretty cool. And then in your like little family league, I don't really know how to judge it because like I looked at the roster, it's like we got Lord Goose at number 1, which I'm
son of a gun.
Just wanna and
he
then
doesn't even like fantasy. He does it just because he watches our show. Literally just watches the show. He's not a sports guy at all.
That's amazing.
When Brady left the league, he didn't care anymore.
Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing. So anyways, he's sitting at top, and then I don't know, somebody else is at 2, and then like me and you are tied for 3, which I don't understand because they have that
really good in that league.
Crazy. The ESPN, like that's the only thing I don't like about that ESPN thing because you're in like different divisions, which I understand why they're doing it.
We could have gone without it. Probably next year I'll remove the divisions, but I thought it was cool to be able to like have like a competitive kind of thing,
Yeah, I like it. I think it's it's kind of cool. It's like NFC versus or NFC North versus AFC South or whatever you want to call it. Like it's kind of cool, but like it just throws me off because I'm like, okay, am I a third or am I second? But I'm ahead of you in that league, so I'm okay with it.
You son of a gun.
I'm like I'm right above you, so I'm like, yeah. So overall, it's been a really this has probably been my best year so far. Like where I'm not just like, oh my god, if I don't win, I'm out. Like I'm pretty much gonna make the playoffs in all the leagues. So
I'm like that in one league. I'm in a win or I'm out, and that's in your league. I have to win out.
Oh yeah,
that's it.
Well, you
Yeah.
did have some help this week,
I
so
literally said it last episode. I have to go bananas in that week. We'll
and
get
you
into that, but
did.
yeah, needed it. But in all other leagues, I'm either in second, third,
That's not
or
bad.
I'm in the running. Second,
Yeah.
third. I'm in sixth place in my home league, second place in another league, and then in first place in one league. So I'm in the running in all, for the exception of yours, where I'm like kind of on the outs. But we'll see. We'll
You're
see what
like, oh,
happens.
what are you, dead last or like second to dead last, something
Second,
like that?
yeah. I'm second to
Damn.
last. But it's not that I'm not that far away. If you look at the records in that league, it's not too
It's
bad.
tight.
I
It's
have a
very tight.
chance. I mean, if I could knock a guy out here too, yeah. I mean, sixth place. The first six guys make it. Is that correct?
Yeah,
I
I
believe
want to
so.
say so.
Two buys
Yeah,
and then
because
yeah.
you know why?
So hmm
You know why it's like that? Because when I
why?
started, it was only the top four teams, and then
Ah,
I was like in sixth place one year. I was like, hey, let's add a couple more teams to it. So just to make it a little bit more fun, guys, like, what do you think? And they're all like, what? I'm like, yeah, let's just do it. Like, what's wrong? So
awesome.
just to give you guys some perspective, what we're talking about here, we are. So as you can see, JC is Banana J, and he's sitting at number
Hmm.
9. Your boy DL is sitting at 2. But look at like the records, man, like right behind Wombat one, which we'll get into that. But like he lost this week after he talked major shit, and then he lost by a point. It was awesome, karma. But look at this, like second through fifth place, we are all just like in this weird. Anybody could take it. Anyone could really take this, and then yeah, kind of drops out a
And that
little bit.
sixth spot is up for grabs. We're all
Yeah,
fighting
it's
with
right
LP.
there, bro. It's right there. So
I'll be there. I'm gonna try to find a way to make it to the dance. All you gotta do is get to the dance.
hey man, all you gotta do is like
My
keep.
team sucks. I'm gonna be honest. My team sucks.
Yeah, you got if you figure out the waivers right, you pay attention to what the fuck's going on, which you did because you picked up
Oh yeah.
Pacheco,
Mm-hmm.
and I
Mm-hmm.
saw that like late, and I tried to grab him too,
And
but you
Mooney.
yeah, and you beat me to the fucking punch. I was like, God damn it. Um, but anything can happen, man. And like, there's some like Juwan Jennings, I honestly feel is the next him because Brian Ayuk is out. And I think
Mm-hmm.
the 49ers are regretting the fact that they signed him to such a big contract because
Mm-hmm.
Jennings is looking good.
It
Like
is. It
he's
really is.
getting it. Like if he's in any of my waivers or like he's out there in any of my leagues, I'm going to pursue his ass as hard as I can. Like he is mine.
I
I got him
love
in a
it.
couple leagues, but anyways.
I love it.
But yeah, let's get
Uh,
into it. Well, you want to pay
Oh,
some
DL.
bills?
Yeah, let's do that. Let's pay some bills. DL. Let's remind the people first and foremost, if they want to go ahead and jump on Twitter and they want to follow us, DL, where can they do that?
Tweet FFG.
Oh, beautiful. Look at that. See, when
Yeah,
we pay the
bro.
bills, we can upgrade the show like
We're
this. Now,
you're
we got a
damn
ticker.
right.
We can afford a ticker now, baby. Let's
That's
go.
right.
Yeah, you guys keep tuning in. We can afford more things. Just
Yeah.
keep tuning in.
Actually,
Keep tuning in.
there's actually a part where we can put like a QR code up where we can get donations.
Sick. Beer donations for our beer fund
Yeah.
because
Anyways,
that's really all
so
we're gonna
yeah,
spend it on.
pretty much.
Anyway, DL. Yeah, and if people want to send us any questions on Twitter, what's the hashtag we always recommend them to use? Let's get it trending. DL.
Ask us, FFG.
Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. DL, and people prefer to send emails if that's what they like to do. I send a ton of emails every day, probably like 150 at work.
Really?
DL,
Oh,
what's
at
the
work.
email
Okay.
people can use?
Ask us, FFG at gmail.com.
Pretty simple. DL, finally, if people want to give us a call, we could call my cell phone directly. What's that number, DL?
In fact, I think we should call the Wombat soon. But you can call JC anytime, anywhere, at any point at area code 708-655-4508. That's his personal line. Like, it's crazy that he gives it out every week, but it's also pretty awesome. You wear some brass underwear, bro, because I would not be giving out my personal number because of Russian spies.
Balls of steel. Dude, I get so many. I don't know what's going on, man. I've been getting some crazy calls lately.
Yeah, because we're telling everyone on YouTube to call you.
Crazy. It's crazy. Anyway, DL, please be sure to like, share, subscribe, and
Smash.
the notification button. That way, you know when we go live. You could check us out. You get that little notification. My girl's upstairs. She just told me, "Oh, I got a notification." I heard her,
Oh,
so
nice.
she's watching. She's tuning in.
I
And
hope
yeah,
I hope she's picking up some good waivers.
she is. Hey, man. Hey, I've been on her about her lineups and who to start and what to do. She's learning. She's learning. It's her first year, so. But yeah,
That's awesome.
anyway, you could catch us guys on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and anywhere that you listen to or watch your podcasts. DL,
Honestly, yes.
another jam-packed show. Let's kick it off with our studs and duds. DL, who is well, you know what? Let me give you my first stud because you
Yeah,
stole one of my
you go
guys. But
first. I always feel like I go
yeah,
first, and I think let's hear from the
I
man.
got you. I got you. My stud this past week was Joe Burrow. Burrow had 428 passing yards and 4 touchdowns on his way to a monster game. I think there's some more monster games coming the rest of the year. We'll get into that a little bit later, but he was my stud of the week. Now, in regards to duds, I'll go ahead and give you guys my dud this past week. A guy that didn't really do much for me, and a guy that you know, little concerned about, if I'm being honest. CeeDee Lamb, 6 receptions for 21 total yards, got me 5 points in my half point PPR league. I'm concerned. Cooper Rush did not look good. Now they have been good in the past. I believe it was 2022 where Cooper Rush played, if I'm not mistaken, 6 games, and they won 5 out of those 6 games. And CeeDee Lamb was in the top 10 at wide receiver during that time frame. But it doesn't look like that right now. The team looks in disarray, and I'm very, very concerned. CeeDee Lamb was my dud this past week. DL?
Question,
Yeah.
question. Um, what about Trent Williams? Is that the guy from the 49ers? Trent?
That's 49ers. Yeah, left tackle. Mhm.
No, no, but the backup. Remember the 49ers drafted him. He was
Trey
supposed to be
Lance.
their
Talking
guy.
about Trey Lance, the
There you
cornerback.
go. I knew it
Yeah.
was Trent something. What about him? Because he's the backup for the Cowboys. Like, why aren't they
He
using
actually
him? Is there something
got
wrong
some
or what?
snaps. Yeah, he got some snaps this past week. And he looked horrible. He did not look good.
Are
So
you
Cooper
are you
Rush.
pushing the panic for CD, or are you like
I don't
gonna
think
see
he's the
what
wide receiver
happens?
one. I don't think he's. So a lot of analysts, because I watch a ton of fantasy material throughout the week and listen to a ton of
Same.
pods when I'm driving home.
Yeah.
Long drives too, by the way. So lots of stuff. Um, a lot of them had him as a low end wide receiver one. I don't see that anymore. Maybe I'm overreacting right now, but I see him as a mid tier wide receiver two.
Dude, it sucks though because especially and did you hear like about I'm sorry, I'm going off topic.
Yeah, go
But
for
did
it.
you
Yeah,
hear about like Jerry Jones's interview when he was like they're like, "Hey, so CD missed that that
bro.
touchdown because of the sun. You want to put some curtains up or like, something?" He's like, "Oh, fuck it. Why don't we just tear down the whole stadium? I know where the
Why don't we
sun
just tear down the
is.
stadium?
I know where
What's
this
crazy? And CD said it.
bro."
CD would have had a touchdown, and this would be a whole different conversation right now between you and I if CD catches that ball. Then
Yeah.
I would still probably be telling you he's
Be
a
like,
low end wide
"Yeah.
receiver one.
Yeah,
But
he's
I'm
good."
concerned because it looked bad though. It looked 21 yards, fucking horrible.
But
But here's what I
bro,
would say. Yeah,
you can't. Okay, real quick. You can't. I'm sorry. You can't add like some curtains or maybe like a
they
little
can,
tint. I
and
know
they
they
do.
can, but fucking
They've
old
done it
man Jones.
for for all their concerts and other sporting events, soccer games and things like that. They do put curtains up. They do. They literally do. There's literally videos and a story of it. Dallas News, some station in Dallas did a news story. So I seen it. Yeah,
Bro, if it
yeah.
was me, if it was me and I was Jerry Jones, like, yeah, we'll put some curtains up. And then every time the like other team was in the end zone, you just like open
Raise
it
them up.
up. You're just like, yeah, good luck, motherfuckers. Like,
From
what the
Milwaukee,
fuck, dude?
The Brewers do that. The Brewers
Yeah.
do that. They have the roof, and the Brewers are always pitching first, and they hit last. So at the beginning, they usually have the sun crowding, and then the roof starts closing strategically, like middle of the way of the pitcher finishing up.
Huh.
Yeah, and then
Huh.
they turn on the AC so the ball can carry a little more. Yeah, they do this. A lot of these teams do this kind of shiesty shit. So
Bro.
yeah, yeah,
Anyway, sorry. Go ahead. Finish off with your studs and duds. My
yeah,
bad, bro.
yeah. That's really it. My dud was CD. I wanted to get into it. Just a little bit about CD and how I'm a little concerned about CD. There's a few other guys that I want to get to talk about. Maybe we could do a panic alarm, a quick panic alarm. But just a few guys there. Deal. Who's your stud? Who's your dud?
Okay, no surprise, right? Because if you were watching Thursday Night Football, honestly, your week might have been set. I know, JC, you had not only did you have Joe Burrow, but you had one of my
Jamar
studs as well
Chase.
as too,
Yes,
Jamar
sir.
motherfucking Chase, dude.
Yes, sir.
I remember I like pivoted over. I'm like, holy fuck! I think you had 101 points or something,
Dude,
or 130. It's something nuts. I was like,
I had like
damn,
100 points before the end of like the second
that was
quarter.
nuts.
It was crazy. Yeah.
So
It
if
was
you're
awesome,
living
to be honest with
if
you.
you're living on the rock, you didn't know, or you just don't care, but or you don't have Jamar Chase, he went for 264 yards, 3 touchdowns, 3 touchdowns. It was
Hmm.
awesome. He had a 64-yard bomb, dude. I was
Dude.
so happy. It made like me feel better for drafting him. I was like
And he
finally,
reminded you why you took him. Yeah. And he
oh
has games
yeah,
like that. Then he'll have like regular ass games where he finishes with like 12 points.
well
But
because they
these
started
kind
double
of games
teaming his
make it
ass.
worth. Yeah. Well, yeah. But these kind of games make it worth it, where he will single handedly win you a week. It's insane.
Yeah, it's nice going into the rest of your week with like 50 points just sitting there. A couple other studs to talk about. Kyler Murray, dude. Like a lot
Yes,
of people
sir.
give him flack, and he's been kind of like, eh. He hasn't been horrible this season, but there was like a lot of hype. Well, this past week, he met that hype. 2 rushing touchdowns, 266 yards passing, and 1 passing touchdown as well too. Definitely helped me overcome a lot of people. And once again, I could sit back and relax and just enjoy my
Overcome.
weekend.
Hmm.
Last for my duds, I will
Real
say,
quick.
oh,
Real quick on Kyler Murray, just because we're talking about him, I don't know if we're gonna get a chance to
sure.
talk about him later on. He has a really nice schedule rest of season. He's on a
Mm-hmm.
bye this coming week, and then he plays the Seahawks. He plays the Vikings. Plays the Seahawks again. Plays the Patriots. Listen to this playoff schedule. He plays the Patriots. He plays the
7 more.
Panthers. He plays the Rams in the playoffs in our fantasy leagues. So if you could go out and get Kyler Murray in a trade, I would try to go do that because that team definitely is trending in the right direction, and they have probably the easiest schedule in the entire NFL.
And like their whole team, they're just, I wouldn't say gelling, but like James Conner has been a beast this year. That was another
So
sneaky
good,
grab if you got him.
so
Um,
good.
but my favorite part was when they like interviewed Kyler and they were
Hmm.
talking about how he got rocked by, I think it was Quincy Jones, Quincy something. Anyways,
Hmm.
he's on the Jets. He got rocked so hard, like the guy, like Kyler's helmet went flying off. He's like, "What'd you think of that?" He's like, it happened so fast. I didn't have time to think. All of a sudden, I got the ball and I was on the ground. But he's like, I respect it. It's a violent game, but I respect it. I was like, he's like, yeah, I've
Dude
been waiting
usually
for that
never,
hit. I've been waiting
usually
for that
never
hit.
gets hit. Dude, it was
He's
crazy.
like, I've been getting bored. I was like, bro, okay,
Remember that
dude.
old show on ESPN? Who was it? They did like a show on ESPN with like the big hits, and they would be like, "Oh, you got knocked out" or something like that.
You
It was like
got
a
not.
show.
Oh yeah, or yeah. There was also. I
We
remember.
would say you got knocked the fuck out. We would say that, but there was a show where they were like, "You got knocked out" or something. It was like an ESPN
I thought it
show.
was like
I
you
can't
got
remember.
mossed. Remember you
There
got
was a
mossed.
Moss. Yeah, but there was one for like big hits too. I just can't. It's escaping me right now.
Oh, that's good. Okay, we'll have to Google that. Jalen Hurts is my last guy to wrap up on studs. 2 passing TDs.
Got it.
Or no, I'm sorry. Yeah, 2 passing TDs and 2 rushing TDs. Dude got
Yep.
4 touchdowns through the air, 2 on the ground, and he passed for 202 yards. Bro, I stacked him with AJ Brown. I'm so excited. Like
Beautiful.
I said, man, that like I've had a good draft. I didn't let auto draft pick my team. Like I can take ownership of my team because I'm not a loser and just
Right?
hit auto draft. There's a story
Yeah.
behind that. Hold on.
uh,
So we'll put a bow on the studs and duds. My dud this week, which I am a little bit concerned about, is J.K. Dobbins. Man, like he's been pretty like true and tested throughout the year. He's had some really good games, but this past week, 50 yards, rushing, 3 receptions for only 5 yards. My concern is this honestly, with Gus the Bus coming back, Dobbins is not going to get the same volume. So I'm not ready to hit the panic button, but I am a little concerned. I'm not as like confident being like, all right, I'm gonna stick him right here. He's gonna at least get me like 15 points, especially with Gus, and
You
especially the way
know,
they utilize him. Gus the
you
Bus
know how
came
many
on
touches?
strong.
Yeah, did he? Do you know how many touches he got? You know, like what
Let
that
me
looked
look.
like? I'm just curious. Not to, throw you under the bus there, literally. Um,
You
I
want to
just
know
need to know,
Gus the
like,
Bus? How many you got?
yeah, yeah, just how
Okay.
many touches they gave him because he's kind of been non-existent on that team for the duration of the
Well,
year.
he's
I
been
drafted him in a
injured,
league,
dude.
and yeah, but even before the injury, he was getting like 3, 4, 5 touches, and he was doing nothing with it. Maybe he was fighting something that we don't know about, and now he's healthy because he didn't look like himself. To be honest, he did not look like himself. I'm just curious, like
So
what he did, what he looked like, touches wise.
okay, duh, it's right here. So Gus Edwards had 10 rushes for 50 yards in the Chargers. So
10 is more
um,
than just a few. 10 is he's working. They're factoring him in.
that's yards. Hold on, touch it.
It's an interesting guy to just put a waiver claim on.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
If you
with
lose
it.
out, because what I like to do in my leagues, a little tip of advice is I like to put a ton of different waiver claims, even if I don't think I'm going to get some of these guys. I just put a ton, and I don't throw in a penny here. See what I could do. Maybe
Yeah,
get a
you
guy
never
here.
know because somebody could be like, yeah, he didn't give me that many points, but all right, I'm just gonna go
Never know.
like
You never know. Um, so you can pull that up real quick. What are you looking for?
Gus Edwards
Hmm.
have in week 10. So he had 10 carries. So like,
Hmm.
yeah, it just says he had 10 carries for 55 yards. Blah blah blah. Titans has held him. Okay, I'm sorry, man. I am just
You're
not
good,
good
bro.
on not good on
You're
the
good.
fly. All right,
Are you looking for like snap percentage, or what are you looking
I just
for?
want like touches
Field.
overall,
Ah, okay. So
right?
usage is probably.
Edwards returned to the LA after a 6 week absent from a scenario ankle injury. His 10 carries were short of J.K. Dobbins' 15 rush attempts, and he has
Hey,
vultured at the
it's
goal line.
alarming. Yes.
And
Yes,
then
sir.
they put fucking Hassan Haskins in too.
Hmm.
You're welcome. I
Where was
got that
where
one.
was Kamani? Where was Kamani Vidal there? Was he out
Well,
this
Dollar
week?
was a
Kamani
healthy
Vidal.
scratch. He was a healthy scratch.
Really
Yeah, against the Titans. With Edwards back in the
interesting.
fold, meaning Edwards would likely to be the team's RB1
Mhm.
should
Hey,
Dobbins miss any time in the next month. Okay.
I don't
So,
wanna I don't wanna say too much here, but this is a backfield to monitor
oh,
because
absolutely.
there could be a running back on the wire that comes from this backfield. So it
Yep.
doesn't cost you anything to throw a dart and pick up a guy or two from this backfield and just see how it shakes out over the next week or two. And if nothing happens, no harm, no foul, you cut them.
Actually,
So
that's a really good
maybe,
point. I'm glad you're bringing
no,
that up because at this point, too, there's a couple things that I would recommend. Honestly, there hasn't been a lot of like crazy injuries to running backs, right? We've talked about this before. Usually, running backs is the most volatile position because they just get just beat up. So, it might not
totally.
be a bad idea to pick up some of these handcuffs, right?
Oh yeah,
As,
100%.
especially if you have like the main guy, right? You
Yep.
definitely want to grab a handcuff. But I mean, like Braylon Allen, that's somebody that I've had.
Great name.
Who
Kenneth Gainwell, somehow, some way, if
Kenneth
Saquon goes
Gainwell, yeah,
down,
absolutely.
there's a
Um,
bunch of guys out there.
there's another
Roshan
guy,
Johnson might be available in the league. Who knows?
Rojo for sure. Even though he
You
fucking
know,
can catch a damn ball. Anyways,
but there's a bunch of guys, and
Ray
also look at bad
Davis,
teams. That's a good
Ray
one.
Davis, I like him.
Look for
Um,
bad teams that suck right now because they're going to
mhm.
go to the youth movement. It's coming.
Yeah,
And what that means is during the playoffs, they're giving young guys touches to see what they have in these young guys that have been sitting on the bench
especially
all freaking year.
it's like a Brooks, right? Which was weird because
Connor
they
Brooks
just
is coming.
yeah, but they
And
just
Chuba,
extended
they extended
Chuba.
him.
They
Yeah,
extended
like
him.
three
Like, what the
years.
fuck are
Yeah.
you doing?
Yeah.
But like, look at the case for like Tyrone Tracy
But
Jr.
that team's
Right?
going nowhere. That team's going nowhere though, the Panthers. So
Oh yeah.
they have no incentive to keep throwing Chuba out there. They could just say, "Hey, we'll give you a few touches. Let's see what the kid has." But you're our running back, Chuba. Let's see what the kid has. They could do
Oh,
that.
absolutely, absolutely. And like I said, Tyrone Tracy Jr.
Hmm.
Like he fucking took over that job. Like you're not hearing Delvin Singletary at all. His name has not been brought up.
He
There is
stole
no
him.
like he's there, but you're not like I'm not afraid to like start Tracy every week because I'm like, you know what?
Well, he's an
He's
every week start.
he's
Hmm.
RB1, right? So that's another thing to kind of monitor as well too. Grab these
He's
handcuffs.
he's let's clear it up. He's their RB1. He's probably like RB2,
Yeah,
in
I
general,
gotcha.
but
I see what you're
he
saying,
must
fantasy
start.
wise.
Yeah, must start. But we called it here on the show. We called it.
Mm.
We told you go pick him
Actually,
up.
you
And we
saved
were on
me
it.
in my
Hey,
14-man league. I'll say it every fucking week because I was hurting because I did which I did a trade for neighbors, which it's not really panning out. But Nico Collins is coming back, which by the
dude,
way,
that team's a mess though. You don't want any part of a team that has Daniel Jones throwing to them. He's
I
done
saw
there.
Shefty. I
Daniel's
saw
done.
Shefty saying that might have been his last down this last game this week. But
Last game as a Giant. I
I don't
mean, but
know,
like, what are they gonna do? I don't know. I don't know. Do you want who's the backup there? Tommy DeVito?
bro. That hey.
Mm,
But honestly, what a bunch of egg on your face as an organization like
dude,
the Giants. And I'm not
I
talking like
hate him.
major trash because the Bears, which we'll get to in the news real quick here. But dude, you pay Daniel Jones, you extended him. Let
Instead of who?
Saquon go
Exactly.
and say, I mean, you're now, I think NFL teams are understanding that, like, hey, there's certain guys like a Saquon Barkley that you fucking need to keep. Like, think about like you just gave the Eagles what they need in your own division, and they're destroying teams left and right. You get through the air, get it on the ground. Oh yeah, and they also have Jalen Hurts too. So if you do start like kind of loading the box, you can just do the little option run on that. Anyways, I digress. But let's get into the news real quick here, which I'm really excited about because we are Bears fans. The Bears
That we are.
fired
Oh man.
Shane Waldron. Oh my God. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. I'm so happy. I'm so freaking happy because I was like, if I have to sit through this, I mean, the last two games have been just horrible to the point that like my oldest little girl is like, Dad, just stop watching. She said that to me this past Sunday. I was like, she's like, Dad, just stop watching. You don't have to watch. She said this to me. I was like, no, I gotta watch. She's like, no, you don't. You just turn it off. You want to watch a movie? Let's watch a movie. I was like, anyways, so they got rid of his ass. Thank you, God. So one down, six to go. Because I think this is just like kicking the can down the road. I don't think Flus is coming back. Not if the Bears actually give a shit about their team or their franchise, or I don't know, the number one pick, your franchise quarterback that was supposed to be the second coming, and now all of a sudden, I mean, people are saying he's a bust, which I 100% disagree. Or I don't know, maybe invest in the line. It's the same shit that we talked about last year. That's what irritates me the most. It's the same shit we talked about last year. What do we say? Get a better line. The line sucks. Justin Fields is getting murdered. Blah 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 blah. Right. Second thing was like, okay, fine. If you're gonna go after Caleb Williams or you're gonna draft his ass, make sure you put people in place that are gonna develop him. Right. What's happened this year? Same shit.
Put
Right.
a lame duck coach. Lame duck
Yeah.
coach. A
He
guy who's
Flus should
already
have been
been
gone.
there. They when you go get a rookie quarterback, the best way to do it is you pair him with a head coach that you know is going to be there for a while, and a guy who can develop. And you pair him with a guy who has a track record of developing quarterbacks, or who brings offensive coordinator with him that can develop the fucking quarterback.
Yeah.
And what do we have? We're still stuck in the fucking '85 Bears era, looking for defensive-minded head coaches. For what? For what? You have the most talented quarterback in the history of the Bears franchise, based on tools, based on what he did in college. Quite literally, the consensus number one overall, like, quarterback by almost every expert, and they're fucking ruining him right now. They're ruining him. It's
He's
dude.
digressed, dude.
I
He's digressed in the last after the bye, his percentage rate went down. Like so the loss to the Commanders, that was heart wrenching. That was just damn dude. But you're like, oh my god, he still had to fight. I even said it. And then you fucking go against the 2-7 goddamn Patriots where like
horrible team.
everyone's saying like, oh, just run it down their fucking throats because they can't stop the run. And yet again, they got I think over the whole season they have 16 sacks. You know how many sacks they got fucking Sunday? 6. They got fucking 6, almost half of what they got. And you wanted to. And another thing that irritates the shit out of me is that, Ryan Poles, the guy who's like, we're gonna build a line. Well, good lineman. What the fuck did you build, dude? Because these guys are trash. They're
Nine
getting
sacks.
injured.
9 sacks. 9.
Oh, my bad. I guess I was off by fucking 3,
Can you
bro.
stop watching? The last 2 minutes, stop watching.
Dude,
I got sacked like 2 more times in the last 2 minutes.
they haven't scored in 21 series or 21 like offensive series. 20 fucking 21.
We haven't won an away football game on a fucking Sunday in 3 years.
That's okay. So you got
Bro.
rid of Justin
And
Fields, right? You got rid of Justin fucking Fields because you're like,
let's
well,
talk about that. Let's talk about that.
go
There's a
ahead.
divide, it sounds like, in the locker room.
Oh,
There are
DJ,
reports
here we go.
that veterans went to the coaching staff and said they wanted Waldron to be fired. Okay?
Thank
There's
God.
reports in that same report that some veterans asked for Tyson Bagent to start.
Oh,
Now
wow.
let's think for a second. Do you remember the play this last game where Caleb Williams got sacked and nobody went to go help him? Do you remember that play?
Oh yeah. I didn't even
It's
think of that.
interesting. Do you remember the play where DJ Moore was hurt and ran
And
out of bounds and
yeah,
gave up on the scramble? Do you remember
yeah,
that play or the footage of DJ Moore sitting on the sideline
pissed off.
pouting?
Yep. Then get rid of him. I'm sorry. I love DJ Moore, but fuck him. Like, if you're not, like, dude,
It's about the
bye.
quarterback. Sorry. It's all
Bye.
about the quarterback.
Yeah, I
He's not
don't give a
Jamar Chase.
shit.
He's not Justin
I'm
Jefferson.
sorry.
He's not
Caleb,
CeeDee Lamb.
I fucking love Justin Fields. I loved him. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
this is our guy. I was back and I was
Me
like,
too.
don't you get rid of him. Don't you get rid of him. But Caleb is better. He is
He
just
is, man. You
fucking
see it.
better. He's just better. And like, he's like he's what the Bears have wanted for like the last like what 4 to 5 years. He's got that pocket. He scans the fucking field, and now people are like, "Oh, he's holding the ball." That's because no one's getting fucking open. I
No one's
watched
getting
the
open.
fucking replay. No
And the
one's
line
getting open.
sucks. Bro, they didn't
This
have a
line's
left tackle. They didn't
garbage.
have a starting right tackle. They were missing their
Garbage.
left guard.
Garbage. They're
Bad, bro.
fucking
And your
trash.
GM who admittedly I like, and I'm one of the few right now that will fight for the guy. Your GM has a history. He played in the NFL as a lineman. You'd think the one strength he has is to recognize other linemen. Nope.
But he's like
He doesn't
this. I
spend
want a lineman like who. No,
like me.
I want a fucking
Hmm.
meathead. I want a fucking bruiser. I want someone who's like,
Yeah, me
I'm gonna
too.
take off your fucking head if you touch
We'll
my
pay for them.
quarterback.
Pay
Yeah,
for them.
pay for him. I don't give it. Do what you got to do, but get somebody
And
who's
the
like,
one guy they paid, Nate Davis, where's he?
oh, he doesn't practice. He doesn't like practice. He shows up on game day. No, the fuck he doesn't. The dude is sitting back, collecting a goddamn check and be like, hell yeah, dude. Cool. You're healthy scratch. Awesome. I'll sit over
I
here. Don't
I want to
care.
give you a bit of info. I think it's like a
Fuck
bigger
that.
story than people are making it out to be. There's a link here that I think is important to talk about. Um, there's a guy who played in the NFL and now he's a super agent and he's connected to the Bears. A lot of teams have like former players or just players in the NFL
The Scott, what's
that
his
uh, that
Basil?
they use to that they used to consult. Okay, they kind of consult with these players. They talk to ownership. They talk to the Bears brass or whatever team you name it. A lot of teams work this way. They operate this way. And for a long time, I've been racking my brain. I've been thinking, why are the Bears always doing this? Why do the Bears always feel like they're just fucking trying to luck into a good season and not actually building a fucking team? Well, let's talk for a second. There's an
Lightning
agent.
in a bottle?
Yeah, lightning in a fucking bottle. They're trying to catch it instead of building like the fucking Packers do.
Mm-hmm.
Building like you fucking name all these dynasty teams or these fucking
Mm-hmm.
great teams like the Chiefs do, like the fucking Patriots did. Like so, there's this
Okay,
one super
timeout.
agent.
Sorry.
Let me get to the agent.
Hold
Let me
on.
get to the agent.
We're just real quick, and I'll let you put a ball on it. But the Chiefs are like grabbing fucking people off the trash heap and putting them in, and they're fucking just, it doesn't matter. There's like, oh, Hopkins, come on in. You're good. All right, go ahead. Sorry.
All right, so uh, there's a link. The name Trace Armstrong. Remember the
Okay.
name, Trace Armstrong. Okay.
Okay, Trace
Trace
Armstrong. Okay,
Armstrong
writing
happens
it
to
down.
be the agent for Ryan Poles, happens to be the
Ah,
agent for
Flues.
Matt Eberflus,
Of course he
happens to be
is.
the agent for Kevin Warren, happens to be the agent for Luke Getzey,
Collusion.
happens to be the agent for Shane Waldron. What are you? How does this work? How are all these guys
Man,
coming
he's getting
into the same place?
paid, bro.
Bro, look, man. It might not be nepotism because it's not family, but it's definitely some fucking cronyism for fucking sure.
No, it's
Friends,
because
friends getting friends jobs, and usually in some industries, fine, cool, that works. In the fucking NFL, I don't want to see friends getting friends jobs. I want the best or the fucking best representing my organization, and that's a fucking problem. Okay,
dude.
and it's gonna be a huge story very very fucking soon.
Oh, of course. George McCaskey's getting that fucking fleece, bro. He's just getting fleeced all over the place because he's like, oh, okay, sure. Oh, okay. You like him? Okay. And he's probably not putting two and two together like, oh, you have to say, oh, that's great. It must be really good because they just hired Ryan Poles and Everloos. And okay, this agent's great. Like, what the fuck? How does nobody else like, oh, God. That, oh, okay, now you just made me more angry. I was like kind of angry, but now I'm like really fucking angry. Yeah, that's
Oh,
bullshit,
you know
bro.
who else he was the agent for? Matt Nagy.
Dude, I saw a rumor that Matt Nagy's up for a head coach. And wouldn't it be a Bears fucking thing if they hired his ass back?
Can I
Wouldn't
be
it
honest?
just
Can I
fucking
be honest? I
don't
would
say it?
rather have him than Eberflus. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. The guy could do one thing. He could fucking coach a quarterback. He didn't like, and I know this. We know this. He did not like Mitch. He kept trying to get Mitch
Or
to play his
Justin?
system.
Or
I don't think he
Justin
liked.
fucking
I,
Fields when he
look,
started him against the fucking Cleveland
I just don't
Browns?
think.
Like,
I just don't think either of those guys have what Caleb has, bro.
you know what? I'm sorry. I'd rather have fucking Flus than that piece of shit. You know
Not
why?
me.
I no. Look at the defense. Look at the Bears' defense between the two.
But
Minus
he's not a
like
head coach. But he's not a head coach.
Flus
He's
is
not a
not.
head
He's
coach.
a DC.
Flus is that he's a DC,
He's a
elite DC.
DC, and he's great.
We
He's
know what
great at
and we
that.
know what that looks like. You're talking to the one of the best cities for defenses. We
Oh
know
yeah,
what a good DC
absolutely.
looks like. That's us. We fucking grow linebackers and deep linemen and
But
deep
even
tackle. Like they just grow
even
on trees here. We
even
know
the
what they
fuck,
look like.
you can tell
That's
the
what he is.
defense is starting to get over it too. You can tell the defense is
Bro,
just
the
like,
team
dude,
is
fuck
one
this,
more
bro.
bad loss away from imploding.
Like,
If they
okay,
lose it,
fuck it.
bro, who do the Bears play this week? I don't even care anymore. Who do they play this week?
Oh, you don't care who they're playing this week because they're playing the
Who do they play?
fucking Green
Ah,
Bay
at home? Are we home?
Packers.
Are we home? Are we home?
I don't know that. I can take a look.
If we're home, if the Green Bay Packers blow us out, goodbye, Eberflus. He's done. Remember when Virginia got pissed when the Bears got blown out 3 times, 3 games in a row to the
Yeah,
Patriots and the Packers
yeah.
twice? She was
Oh, I
fucking
know.
pissed. Well,
Oh, I
if
know.
the Packers blow out the Bears, which look, bro, the season's over. It's all about Caleb.
Yeah,
Blow
it's
the
done.
fucking Bears out the water. Blow. I want them all gone. I want them all gone. I want them all gone. The only way that's gonna happen is if they continue to lose. And I hate to say that. I hate to root for losses, but give me better draft capital and get these coaches out of here. Get these coaches the fuck out of here.
Yeah, but who the fuck?
That's it.
Okay, hold on. I'm looking it up.
Bro, they could have had Ben Johnson and they didn't do it. And now
Dude,
the word is he doesn't
that's
want to be here.
like what the fuck? That's what I said. Everyone's like,
Look,
no, he wants to be here. I'm like, no, he doesn't. He like
and look what he's
literally is like,
doing.
no, yeah,
God.
absolutely. Look what he's fucking doing. I mean, I usually when I looked at our division, I'm like, oh hell yeah, hell yeah. Okay, so we're playing at home. Green Bay versus the Bears at home.
My God, bro. If they fucking get
Dude, they're
blown,
not gonna win.
uh,
The
I know
Bears
they're
are
not gonna win.
not
Well, if
going
they
to
win,
win.
everything changes. The conversation changes. It's crazy how this works.
Yeah,
If
if
they
Flus
win this
saves his
game,
ass, Flus
he will save his
saves his
ass.
fucking ass. That's what happens.
And
If they
here's
beat
my
them,
real question. Here's my real question. Regardless of what happens, unless the Bears lose the rest of the season, I think Poles is safe, right? As long as they don't
Foles is
lose
safe.
the
Flus
entire
is
season.
gone.
But if what if they lose the entire season?
I don't think so. I think they'll give Poles another chance, just because of
Would you?
the
Would
way he
you?
constructed the team. Yeah, I would.
But
I
don't you
would
think
give
that
Poles a
you
chance. I
you've
would give
created such a
him one
strong
more chance.
foundation? But don't you think you created such a strong foundation? You could go get somebody that just say, "Hey, it's all the building blocks are here, and you still got cap space. You got like the fifth highest cap space, and you have
Bro,
draft capital,
that's too much. No, you're
and you
giving
have a
up.
rookie quarterback."
You're
I'm just
giving up too
saying.
much. You're giving up too
But like,
much. You're.
here,
I'm
here's
sorry.
here's been the
You keep,
word. Here's the
no,
word. Okay, here's the
I don't
word.
think they give it
I
up. No
I
way.
have it on good. I have it on. And I'm nobody, but I have it on good authority on some back channels through Lawrence Holmes that
Oh,
the
okay.
Bears, specifically Eberflus and Ryan Poles, were scared of somebody with a voice. They were scared of somebody like Ben Johnson coming in and actually wanting to, like having say. So they went for Shane Waldron, who doesn't have a voice, who doesn't have good like a what's the word I'm looking for here? He doesn't have a really good backing. He's not
He doesn't have a
that has a
backbone.
lot of
That
say.
makes
He doesn't
sense.
not even backbone. He doesn't have like enough experience to be able to say this is how we're gonna run it. This is what we're gonna do. Like Ben
Okay.
Johnson would have gone in there and literally been the play call. Here's the thing. I'll just throw it out there. He
No,
was
hold on. Time out.
afraid
I
of the
want to
offensive
respond. I just
coordinator.
want to respond to
Like
that real quick. Just real quick.
Eberflus was afraid of getting supplanted by an offensive
You're not gonna let
coordinator.
me
He was
talk.
afraid. That's it.
Okay.
That's what I was trying to
So
say.
yeah, but the whole thing is this: is that like number one, Flus needs to go because how many like coaches or coordinators have like he's gotten it wrong? Like last year was a big glaring thing. This year, another one. I don't think. I think Ryan Poles put Caleb Williams. Remember, we were singing his praises. Put him in like a really great. He got the players. That's Ryan Poles' job is to build the team. The coaches are supposed to make that team win, right? Ryan Poles did his job. He got you fucking Keenan Allen. He extended DJ Moore. He got you Roma Dunze. He paired the quarterback and a wide receiver together. Smart. We were singing his praises, right? Where he fucked up is the line. And that's where I'm just like, dude, but you're a lineman, right? I don't think why would a head coach I get like Sir Plan or what have you. I get that, but it's not like Flus came into the season thinking that like, oh, I'm good. Like I'm not gonna get fired. Like all I have to do is just win like 4-4 and I'll be straight. Like he knows his job is on the fucking line. Like I why would you do that? Why would you set yourself for failure? Because now you lose that leverage, right? Because if he picks the right OC, right, like a Ben Johnson, he looks like the smartest man in the room. Because remember, he doesn't want to call the defense. He never did. He wants to be like the CEO of the team, right? Where it's just like you're gonna
Who,
call
Eberflus?
defense. Yeah, that's what he from the
I don't think
get
there's
go.
I don't think there's five guys better in the league at calling a game defensively than Eberflus. I don't think there's five guys.
I'm just saying the way it was set up when Flus was hired was he's going to hire a defensive
Yeah,
coordinator and he's going to hire
yeah,
offensive coordinator and he was going to like manage them to make sure the team runs well. And then he
mhm,
fucked up because he hired a kid toucher.
he did.
And then
Fuck, man,
yeah, dude.
that's another
Anyways,
story that we
we
don't even. That
see
yeah,
the
it
Bears
would be.
pod. This
But
is like what we should have. I think we need to bring back the Bears pod every like couple
we
episodes
should do
just to kind of like
a Bears minute,
segment. Yeah, Bears
a Bears
minute
beat, and like a
because
segment or something. I don't
we've
know,
gone
man.
off. I mean, I still got a couple more things to talk about with news. So to put a bow on it, I'm happy that I am. This is one silver lining I will say: the Bears did something. They didn't fucking wait till January to fire his ass or clean house.
Agreed.
They're like, no, we need to get this right because our quarterback is digressing. Our line is digressing. Everyone on the fucking offense looks like shit. Like we need to do something. We need to do something right fucking now. And I don't know if
Did
Flus
it,
got a talking to or he was just like, I'm going to do it because I'm trying to save my ass. But he did it. So that's my
and they've
take.
never have they ever
Never
done
done
it?
it. Never done it.
Fired a
They
guy
should
in
have
season.
fired him. They should have fired fucking Flus. They should have fired the fucking OC. But they didn't.
I wonder. My last thing. I'll leave you on this.
Okay.
I wonder if they would have fired Flus if Waldron would have then changed how he called the games. Because something tells me he would have done different things. Something tells me that he's getting directed from up above on how to call things.
I disagree because
There's
JSN.
no way he's this bad. There's no way he's
Yeah,
calling
he
a
is.
fucking
JSN.
wide
No,
receiver
no, no.
screen
Remember?
on
Okay,
third and long.
CHGO. Do you remember this when they
I remember.
fucking
I remember when they
junior
talked to JSN. He's like, "Good luck."
JSN? And yeah,
Hmm.
he was like, "Good luck." That was a huge red flag. When I heard that, I was like, "Whoa, wait a." That like made me pause because I was like, "Wait a second, yeah, JSN was supposed to be
Other
like great guy
other
and like
players talked well of him. Other players talked highly of him though. Like not
yeah,
not
but
like
that was a rookie wide receiver. That's what made me nervous because it's like, okay, what are you trying to say? Did he not develop you? Did he not? Like that was a huge red flag. I brushed it off because I was like, oh, whatever. Like it's just him. He's just pissed. But no, he wasn't.
lastly, the new offensive coordinator is Thomas Brown,
Oh, that's what I was gonna go
who
on to. Yeah, Thomas
who
Brown.
who just
Real quick. Oh my God. See,
yeah.
dude,
Go
we're
ahead.
getting lost. We
Who
may
did
have
he
to get
just coach? Yeah.
dude. Okay. First of all, the guy played in the league. He played in the league. He played for the Atlanta Falcons. He was about to start. He got injured by a horse collar tackle that ruined his rest of his fucking like career. Pulled his groin. I was like, oh shit, bro. Okay. So, anyways, he bounces back. He has coached. He has coached. I don't know if you remember this guy's name, Melvin Gordon, back in Wisconsin. He
I
coached
remember
him.
him.
And then he also coached Nick Chubb. And there's a couple other guys,
Oh,
but those are the two that like
he's a
really
lifer.
he
He's a
stood
lifer.
out to me. And I was like,
He's
holy shit.
fucking
Not only that, he was the assistant head coach of the Rams. Like that's how much he was favored because you don't see that who assistant head coach. Like what names have you been hearing? I'm excited for him. I think I'm just
Where did he
excited.
just coach? Where did he just coach? Where
Oh,
did he
fuck,
just come from?
I don't
Do you
know. Go
know?
ahead. No,
He just coached Bryce Young. He was the
that
offensive
was it.
coordinator for
Yep.
Bryce Young
Yep.
last year.
Yep. Let's
Ladies and
go,
gentlemen,
baby.
your new offensive coordinator just coached the soon to be benched Bryce Young. Again, that's the Bears. That's the Bears.
I hate you. I was like excited. I was like, oh yeah, that'd be good. Anyways, moving on to other news because we still got a lot of the show left.
Yeah.
Um, I'll make this fast. Dak Prescott is undergoing season-ending surgery on his injured hamstring. Like it was so bad, like it tore off the bone. So he had two options. Either way, he was out for the season. He could either like try to like deal with it and try to rehab it and still be out for like I don't know 10 weeks, or he could do the surgery and rehab it. So he's out, which I'm worried about. CD Lamb. We kind of touched on him. I don't know what you do. I don't know if you're still confident in him. If you should probably.
I think, bro. Honestly, I think
I
he's
don't know.
gonna have a. I think he's gonna have. He'll have a game here and there where he goes for a touchdown and like 80 yards. Again,
And who
he'll be a wide
knows?
receiver too.
Maybe
He'll be a wide
Cooper
receiver
Rush
too.
and him start like gelling
Here's the only
halfway
thing I'll
through
tell
the
you.
season.
Well,
Please,
there have been plenty of
please.
number one receivers. Yeah, there've been plenty of number one receivers with bad quarterbacks. Plenty of
Yep,
them. DJ
yep.
Moore's whole career, for the most part, has been with bad quarterbacks. We can name a ton of wide receivers who have played with bad quarterbacks. So, I mean, it's absolutely possible that he goes back to low end wide receiver one. But I think safe bet he'll be mid to high end wide receiver two rest of the season, and that's really it.
Yeah, I think you're right. He's gonna have a couple good games where you're like, all right, he's back, and then you're like, fuck. That's the way it's gonna be.
Yeah, yeah.
This is sad news for me, and I'll tell you why. But it's probably going to be a lot of happy news for a lot of other people out there. To phony homies, Isaiah Pacheco is off of IR. He's actually um, he's back. He can practice, um, which sucks because I have a lot of Korean punt in most of my leagues. I have a lot. I even
Everywhere.
tried. I tried trading for it, and everyone's like, "Oh, fuck you, dude! No fucking way." Anyways, my question to you is because
Hmm.
I want to know. When do you think he comes back? Do you think he comes back like this week? Do you think he needs a couple weeks? Do you? I mean,
I think
obviously he
they,
has 21 days. So
yeah, I think they ease him in like we've seen from most players. I don't think he's going to be given 20 touches off the back, like off rip. I think he'll get like 8 to 12 touches, probably closer to 10. That'll be that. But if he looks great, I give it 2 weeks. I think by not this coming week, but the following week, he'll probably have 60% of the touches, and then in 3 weeks he'll lead the team in touches.
Yep.
That's where I'm at.
So I
Three
got
weeks.
2 weeks. I got 2 weeks to
You have
figure it
one
out.
week. You have one. Trade Kareem Hunt now.
No one's gonna. I can't trade him. No one's gonna
In a
take
week,
him.
he'll be worth nothing. He'll be a backup.
I'll try, but no one's gonna take it. I mean, we're. It's not like we. Well, I did saw on Sleeper app. Thank you, Sleeper, and made my like heart drop. But yeah, I'll see what I can. Maybe I can. He's gonna be one of those trades where like you trade him and you just like add a player, or
Yeah.
someone's like 2 for 1, like or what you always say like, they're getting. I'm getting $1, getting $1.50 or what have you.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. That's how I like to think of it because people know money. Oh,
I guess who's here.
knock at the door. Knock
Guess who's
fresh from the Diddy party. Fresh from the Diddy party. The doc is going to be here. He is in town. Before we go to the doc, I do want to quickly say, if you have any trades out there sitting there right now, go ahead and remove those trades. I would always tell people don't let a trade sit overnight because people get hurt during these practices during the week. Just giving you a little pro tip to do just before that. But with that being said, and without further ado, it is time for injuries. All right, everybody, the doc is in the house. He is getting ready. Drinks are flowing. Doc, I know you're ready. Where you at? Oh,
I'm here.
right on time.
I
Doc,
am
I'm
here.
going to give you this segment. I'm going to go and refill my beverage. Go ahead
Good.
and let
About
you
time.
go.
Bye.
I just want to throw it to you, mother.
Anyways, enough of him because who cares what he's doing? He's probably having to take a wicked dump. Anyways, um, I'm here and I'm here to tell you guys about injuries real quick just to pay some bills. I am sponsored by Pfizer. So make sure you're taking your medicine. Get those drugs you don't need. Um, so we're gonna start it off. We're gonna talk about the Buffalo Bills and the huge injury to their tight end Dalton Kincaid. He messed up his knee, guys. Hasn't been great. The second-year veteran left briefly against the Colts before trying to resume play with a knee brace. Uh-oh. Didn't really help him. Only to exit. He told the reporters afterwards he doesn't know the extension of the injury. I talked to him. He just said it didn't feel great. So that sucks, especially with all their other injuries. The Bills are also, battling injuries with receivers Amari Cooper and Keon Coleman. So, um, yeah, I would really look to get their backup running back because their running back's probably going to be next. Anyways, another injury to a tight end for the Detroit Lions. Sam Laporta suffered a shoulder sprain and could potentially miss a week, but it's not considered a long-term issue. Head coach Dan Campbell said after Sunday's win against the Texans. So, yeah, hopefully the waivers can help you guys out because that's not looking good at all. Not a lot of injuries. I actually got some rust this week, guys. It's pretty nice. Enjoyed myself. You know, uh, checked out the Wolf Lodge. It was great. It was absolutely great. Um, Last but definitely not least, Tank Bigsby hurt his ankle, did not return against the Vikings defense, and Eric Armstead was evaluated for a concussion in Sunday's game. So that was injuries. Hopefully JC's back from taking a dump. He is. Welcome back, funny homies.
It's a massive dump. I was on Percocets all week, so
Gross.
I'm giant. I'm just kidding.
That's
I don't
real
do
gross.
drugs.
But that was it.
Um,
Not a lot of
Doc,
injuries. You
it
talked
wasn't way
about
too many, Doc.
you guys kind of stole my thunder with the big ones. I was getting excited, but Christian McCaffrey's back, so that's exciting.
What do you
Um,
expect from him, Doc? Just based on the injury he had, do you think he'll be effective? Do you think they'll ease him in?
I think they're
Your
going to ease him
questionable
in. I
opinion.
really do. I think they're going to ease him in. It's getting towards the end, right? We're what, week 11, so we're more than halfway through the season, right? And now it's like teams are getting ready for the playoffs coming up. And actually, the 49ers, they don't have the easiest schedule, but for the rest of the season, regular season, they are pegged to be the winners in every matchup they go up against. Now, it's not going to be a blowout. It's not going to be amazing. However, they're favored to win. So I think that is a good sign for CMC and the rest of the crew.
I like that. I like that breakdown, Doc.
Thank
We appreciate you
you.
as always, Doc. And I appreciate you for not cracking any mama jokes this week.
I've been trying to clean it up. I've been trying to clean it up,
Oh,
like perfect my
because
image.
you're being subpoenaed for the case. Is that why?
I don't know what to talk about, JC. And I
Being
can't talk about it. I can't
ah
talk on any pending cases.
okay,
Um, but
okay.
let's just say Johnson are still supporting me. They still endorse me.
Ah
And so does
that
so
hair.
does Pfizer.
Okay, whatever you say, Doc.
Is that it? Can I get my $20? No.
$20. Who the fuck's giving you? I don't got $20. All right, Doc. Appreciate you as always. Thanks, Doc. All right, guys. The Doc just checked out. I think it's private jet. I heard he doesn't have a private jet anymore. I heard they took that away too. But it's time, everybody, to go to the reason why you're here. Everybody, it's time for waivers. And now it's time to go over the waivers, everybody. We're going to go ahead and start off at quarterback and give you a name that everyone's very familiar with. We'll kick it off with Justin Herbert is being the first guy. He is 56% rostered in fantasy leagues. He's not having the biggest games that people are used to seeing. However, this Chargers team is better than people think. And under Jim Harbaugh, Justin Herbert has been pretty dang good. He's providing QB1 caliber production after some quiet starts this season, which has earned him a spot on this list for the second week in a row on our fantasy waiver wire recommendations. He's currently averaging 21.1 points per game in the last 3 weeks, and he's accounting for at least 2 touchdowns in each game. DL, we are highly recommending Justin Herbert as a guy who you can stream and potentially ride the rest of the way this season.
Absolutely. I think the next guy we're going to talk about right here is Mr. Bo Nix for the Denver Broncos. He's going rostered at 28%. Nix has had a very reputable showing for 16 fantasy points on the road against the Chiefs in Week 10. So that's pretty awesome. The Broncos will actually host the Falcons, who've allowed 20 points to quarterbacks in their last 4 contests, the sixth most. Nick's floor has been 14 points since the start of October, so he is mobile quarterback. So he's checking all the boxes that we've always recommend. Get that mobile quarterback and get somebody who can get the ball out. So he's looking pretty darn steady of late. And I think he's definitely a top streamer this week.
Yeah, I'm done not believing in Knicks. I'm a full believer in Knicks. It's because you're getting old.
No, I had to chase Doc off my property. He kept asking me for like a little bit, like, can I get a 20? And I was like, no, dude, here's beer. Bye. Anywho.
I do want to tell you, Melvin Brewing, cool brewery out of Wyoming. This fizzy
Okay.
lifter,
You
it's
went to
a
Wyoming?
Hefeweizen. No, I'm part of a beer club through Lazy
Oh,
Dog
gotcha.
in Oak Brook, and
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
dude,
I've been
it's
there.
legit, dude.
I didn't
Their
like
beer
that.
club shit.
Lazy Dog
You
sucked
don't like
at.
what?
Lazy Dog sucked. That
What
restaurant.
didn't you like? What didn't you like? What did you get? Did you try their beer,
I did try their beer. It was mid. Mm. I
bro?
also
How about you
got.
go with me?
What did I
Let's
get?
meet there. Let's meet there soon.
Lazy Dogs. Like, in Oak Brook, in
Yeah,
that like little, and they
yeah,
got a weird ass parking lot.
yeah. I
Yeah, I
think they
took my
have
family
solid
there.
beer. Yeah,
Sucked.
yeah. I think they have solid beer. Dude, their
Mm.
pot pie is fire. They have certain things on the menu that I recommend highly
Okay, I would never order a fucking pot pie from a restaurant.
because you
I
don't
hate
know.
pot pies. I don't like pot pies. I
Oh, you
got burnt
suck.
out as a kid. I got burnt out. My mama made too many of those Marie
I
calendars.
never had a
Remember
pot
Marie
pie.
calendars?
Oh, you know what? I lied. I did have those. Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty fire.
No, no, no. What do
Uh,
you mean? I love pot pie. What the fuck?
no.
They used to be a place in the city called Silver Cloud. They had the best pot pie
Oh yeah,
you ever
yeah,
had in
yeah.
your
I
life.
know Silver Cloud. I know that.
Yeah. R.I.P.
What did
Silver
I get
Cloud.
at late? I got like pot roast something.
They have
It's
good
like
brunch too,
pot.
dog. It's like
Oh,
legit.
it was a pot roast dip. Like it was like a French
You
dip,
didn't
but
like it?
with pot roast. It was okay. Just like
I never had
I
anything
wasn't.
bad, but I've only been there 4 times. But I'm part of their beer club, and
So what
I
else
get
did you get there? You got the
six
pot
packs.
pie, and you got
I got a brunch once where after my best friend got married. I
okay.
went there for brunch, and then what
Can't
else
fuck
did I
up
get?
eggs.
I got some kind of like Asian dish. It was like a rice with some
Something,
kind of meat on top. It was really good. I don't know, fuck, it was fucking great. And their beer's
dude.
good. There's like 3 beers there that they make through Melvin Brewing. That's
I
phenomenal.
tried. I tried their
Huckleberry,
IPA. I
Huckleberry,
tried that
great.
one. Didn't like it.
That one's dude. Then maybe you
Kind of
got a bad
weird.
batch. I can't. I love it. I was just there
Okay.
like 2 weeks ago.
What are you
Perfect.
going to tell us about Drake May for the quarterback for the New England Patriots?
Oh, this beer is good as fuck. That's all I can tell you. Drake May rostered in 3% of leagues. May struggled against the strong Bears defense in Week 10. The rookie was held to just 11 fantasy points. His lowest output in a game that he started and finished since becoming the Patriots QB1. He has a more favorable
Didn't
matchup
look
this
bad.
coming week with DL. No, no, he didn't look bad, but he has a better matchup coming up this week with a home game against the Rams, another team that we are recommending. If you look at your roster, you look at the schedule, if you could go get a quarterback to stream if they're available against the Rams, against certain teams, the Carolina Panthers, go do that. Anyway, May takes on the Rams this coming week, who are coming on a short week, by the way. The Rams just played recently, and he's averaged at least 17 fantasy points per game in 4 contests that he started and finished. So we are recommending Drake May to at least get
You
15.
know, you know who I was kind of shocked you didn't put on this list? Your
Mm.
boy, who I nabbed last
Oh,
week. Your boy,
a lot of boys. Oh, my boy. Can I think? Can I guess?
quarterback.
Mm, of course, what Howland quarterbacks do. Let's get
Let's
quarterback.
let's ride,
Yeah, Russell's been solid.
dude. Okay, 30% rostered. 30%.
Go ahead. You
Just
got a
saying.
blurb? You got me. You got me on it. Who's he play this
No,
week? What do you got?
okay. So I grabbed him. That's probably why I'm talking about him because I was like, oh yeah, you guys are stupid. You didn't get him. Um, damn it. I shouldn't have said anything because now you put me on the spot. Hold up. Break for it. We're gonna head over to running backs real
Baltimore.
quick. There it
Bad
is,
defense.
Baltimore.
Real
That's
bad.
probably why. That's probably why. Okay, never mind. I'm excited just because he actually looked good. He actually did really well last week. It looks like him and Pickens are like that moonshot. I was like, dude, still got it. Russ is looking like Russ. And Tomlinson, way to go, bro. Like you just have balls of steel to be like, well, we were winning, but we're gonna go with Russ.
Mike Tomlin. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's a good coach.
He's
Wish we
awesome
had one like
coach.
that.
Speaking of those Steelers, our running back, our first guy that we're going to be talking about is Jalen Warren. He's only rostered at 40%, so probably could still get some grabs at him. He's been trending up in the last two games. Pittsburgh before Pittsburgh's Week 9 bye, but Sunday was a clear signal, a time to roster Warren if you can. He set a season high 16 touches and 9.5 fantasy points, depending. That's standard, but depending on what you're going against. But he is going against the Commanders against the Commanders, rushing for a high of 66 yards on 14 carries, and catching 2 passes for 29 yards. Najee Harris got banged up against Washington. Didn't see him appear too serious, but I think Warren should be a solid backup. the trajectory and upside back to back 100-yard games around this time a year ago. So makes him a worthy pickup.
Yeah, I would agree. I think Jalen Warren will have flex appeal, and as long as Najee plays, he'll just be a flex guy. But if for any reason Najee seems to miss any time, Jalen Warren could be a really, really good, fill-in for those games. Next year, we're going to go ahead and
Wait,
recommend is a
real
guy we
quick.
talked about. Yeah,
Like we talked in the top of the show before we went on our Bears rant. Now's the time to grab those handcuffs. So there you go.
yeah,
Okay,
true,
tell me about Gus
true.
Edwards. My bad, bro.
Yeah. Gus Edwards, 31% roster. The Gus Buzz continues to churn after missing the previous 4 games with an ankle injury. Gus Edwards led the Chargers with 55 yards rushing on 10 carries, averaging 5.5 carries per attempt. This past week, 4 of his rushing attempts came in the red zone, which is key because Gus could make, you could start him in your flex, and as long as he scores a touchdown, because he's gonna get the touches, it's worth it. Even if he gets 4 yards, he might get a touchdown. You get your 6 points. Uh, so here's the thing about Edwards: Dobbins is still gonna get his share of the workload for the Chargers, but
Thank God.
But Jim Harbaugh wants to pound the rock. He is a run first guy. They get off the bus running the ball, like Levy used to say. And you should see plenty of scoring opportunities for Gus Bus as they take on the Bengals and the Ravens in their next 2 matchups.
Okay, I'm gonna also recommend as a sneaky stash Mr. Trey Benson for the Arizona Cardinals. Now, the Cardinals are obviously on a bye. There's a lot of teams on a bye this week, so if you're not really too desperate too desperate to hit up the waiver wires or be that top priority, this would be a great guy to add because he's only rostered in 1%. He led the Cardinals with 62 yards rushing on 10 carries on Sunday, and also had 2 grabs for 25 yards. James Conner is obviously the RB1 in Arizona, and the team isn't going to be salting the game away with huge leads, like they did on Sunday against the Jets. Fuck you, Aaron Rodgers. Um, so yeah, I think this is like more of like a deeper league, like the 14-man type of leagues, 12-man leagues, just as like a backup. And yeah, flex spot. I think it just really depends on who they're playing. But yeah, worst case scenario, like myself, I have James Conner in a lot of my leagues, and I'm looking to grab him because it seems like their ground game has been elite.
It has. Yeah, it has. Next, I want to go ahead and recommend Audric Estime, rostered in less than 1% of leagues. Estime had totaled 15 carries this past week. I'm sorry, totaled 15 carries throughout the entire season. And then entering week 10, he had a huge road test against the defending champs. Sean Payton entrusted him with a team high 14 total touches for 53 yards. He was averaging 3.8 yards per carry, DL. No other Broncos running back had more than 2 carries. Estimate saw 45% of the snaps, while Javonte Williams received 29%, and Jaleel McLaughlin only received 12%. It's not like 100% clear what Payton's going to do and what the pecking order is in this running back stable, but just based on the usage, Audric Estime has an opportunity to potentially run away with this job and take the bulk of the carries. And at
I
this point in the
think,
season, it's going to
sorry,
be hard to find a guy like that.
honestly, I think this is going to be the top waiver wire. I think everyone's going to be just going after this dude because if you actually saw the game, he looked awesome, dude. He
Yeah, he
ran
did.
angry. He was running downhill. I think he's going to be like one of the top waiver ads. Just kind of going back looking over these. I mean, him and Gus Edwards. I could see a lot of people going towards Gus Edwards just because of the run game, but if you can get him, I would go for him. That's my pick. I would say that's my waiver pick of the week. All right,
I like it.
we're gonna go and head over to those wide receivers. Um, First guy we're gonna talk about is Juwan Jennings. Now he's
Combo.
oh, Juwan Jennings or Ricky Pearsall. Okay. Anyways, if Juwan Jennings is out there, definitely grab him. Do everything you can. I was talking to JC in our pre-production meeting, like that pre-production
I like
meeting,
that. I like
that
that.
I want Juwan Jennings like bad. I have him on a couple of my my teams, but I would love to get him if he's out there. Just because if you watch the 49ers, they're manufacturing to get him the ball. It's not just
Oh
like,
yeah.
oh, he's open and there you go. Like they're putting plays together. He's honestly, I was telling JC, like, I bet they're kind of kicking themselves because if you saw Brandon Ayuk before he got injured, he was kind of like struggling in this 49ers offense. And now you see Jawan Jennings just thriving and taking his chance and just running away with it. So if he is out there and you're desperate for a wide receiver, that's your guy. Ricky Pearson is only 16% roster. Um, the dude is back for another round on the waiver column. So really, both these guys would be a nice add, especially with this 49ers offense. Um, with the QB targeting Ricky at a high 11 times, the wide receiver returned. Am I reading this right? Is that,
Nope.
anyways? I'm not. That was I totally fucked that up. That was Juwan Jennings that he targeted for 11 times, with 7 catches for 93 yards. His best performance since he's had the game of his life back in week 3. As for Parsons, he made his first TD catch of his career against the Bucks and played 64% of the snaps, trailing only Jennings and Deebo Samuel among the 49 wide receivers. So, that being said, if you have, I don't know, let's say you have Deebo and you have Jennings, are you still starting Deebo over Jennings or are you taking the
Yeah, give
risk?
me
And
Debo. Debo.
okay, cool. Just double checking because I have them.
Mm-hmm.
So either way,
Mm-hmm.
the way it looks at it, 49ers, you want to grab a piece of their offense because, like I said, the rest of the season, they're favored to win in each matchup. So these are definitely some guys that I would add. Obviously, Juwan Jennings, we mentioned that he's really, really good. And he's making this opportunity. It's going to be hard to find, but I think Ricky, I don't want to fuck up his last name.
Pearsall.
Yes, will be someone. I think he's going to be the top for wide receiver, top waiver ad.
I can see that. I could definitely see that. All right, DL. Next guy we're gonna go ahead and recommend. We're gonna jump over to wide receivers now. I'm sorry, we're already on wide receivers. You talked about Pearsall.
Yeah,
Cedric Tillman, 37% rostered. We've been hyping up Tillman for at least 3 weeks now, and now that they have that quarterback switch, we've seen what Jameis can do. It feels like it's time to move on to the number one receiver in Cleveland. He's averaging 22.2 field fantasy points per game in his last 3 contests, and he's got a promising matchup in Week 11 as the Saints take on. I'm sorry, the Browns take on the Saints. It looks like
not just me.
it definitely looks like. What's that?
Nothing. You're good.
It definitely looks like Jameis Winston is just targeting Cedric Tillman, and it looks like that's his number one receiver. So he's a guy that we definitely recommend, and if he's available, which he might not be, try to go get him. I probably would rather have Cedric Tillman over Ricky Pearsall, not over Juwan Jennings, but you know what? I
I can
think I'd
see
rather
that.
have Cedric Tillman over both. Over both, personally, just me.
Mm, I disagree just because of the simple fact that I think the 49ers offense is better run. And, Brock Purdy is passing the ball, giving everyone an opportunity.
I'll give you that.
That's
I'll give
my
you that.
2 cents. Quentin Johnson, we're going to talk about next, who plays for those Los Angeles Chargers. He's only rostered at 12%. For this week's ranking, he's number 2, and he's only rostered at 12%. So just looking for this week only, he's like the second best. The first one would be Ricky Pearsall, in my humble opinion. However, if Johnson is going to keep on scoring TDs, you got to grab him. He has hit pay dirt 5 times in 7 games this season and has scored double-digit fantasy points in most of his outings. That's what you need. I think he's a solid flex. In fact, I'm debating whether to put him in or J.K. Dobbins. But the Chargers have matchups against the poorest Bengals and the Ravens pass defense awaiting them, which means there are probably many more TD opportunities coming for Johnson. So I will say this. I think he's a boomer bust guy, right? Like I said, he's TD dependent. So he's not going to get a lot of targets. I think this past week he got two, but he made it happen, right? He did get a touchdown. So this is some guy that he's definitely worth the flex consideration. But I really feel he's definitely boomer bust at this point.
I couldn't agree more, DL. I think
Thank
he's definitely a feast or famine
you.
guy. Let's jump over to tight ends. Mike Gesicki. He's 32% rostered. You don't like Mike Gesicki? I feel like we've talked about him for years.
I grabbed him last week because I was like, oh, hell yeah. He's going against Baltimore and they suck against
Well,
tight ends. You know how many
well,
points he got me?
well.
You
Let me
want to
help you out
know?
here while you look that up.
Three.
Tanner Hudson. Tanner Hudson was the Bengals tight end with a touchdown catch last week, but it was
Mm.
Gesicki who saw 6+ targets for the third straight game. He was held to 4 catches for 30 yards, but don't forget he had 5 catches for 100 yards and 2 touchdowns last week. I'm sorry, 2 weeks ago. It's not clear if T. Higgins is going to play, but if T. Higgins does not play, Mike Gesicki, fire him up.
I can see that. I can see that. But just so you know, I grabbed him last week and they're talking high on him, and the guy got me 3 points. Anyways,
The other
still
guy
won the
caught it.
league.
The other guy caught it. Yeah,
Still
yeah, there
won
you
the
go. That's all you
league,
need.
so that's still awesome. Next guy that we're going to talk about is no stranger to those Buffalo Bills, Dawson Knox. He's rostered at 2%. So obviously you want to still monitor Dalton Kincaid, as the doc said. Not looking good because he tried to come back with a knee brace and then immediately left. So something to monitor for sure. But if Kincaid isn't able to go against those Chiefs this week, Knox becomes the tight end number one for Buffalo. And mind you, the other injuries they're dealing with, as the doc mentioned, Amari Cooper is kind of roughed up, and Coleman, right? Coleman.
Uh-huh.
Okay, cool.
Keon.
So Coleman's like banged up as well too. So Keenan Coleman, I even have it in my
Keon.
notes.
Keon.
Keon Coleman is banged up with both. So definitely, if this is gonna be the guy who's gonna get a lot of like looks, a lot of snaps. So this might be your dude. Moving on to defenses, what do you got for us, JC?
Defenses, DL. First defense I'm going to recommend, unfortunately, is the Green Bay Packers. They're rostering 39%
Fuck
of
you.
they're
No, not
rostering
you.
39% of leagues. Yeah. Look, this is a
I get it.
good defense to stream. The Packers are coming off a bye, and they'll play against the Bears in Chicago. The Bears look really bad on offense. We're
They
Bears
haven't scored
fans.
in 21 consecutive plays. 21
Yeah, that's literally what we wrote.
consecutive
They failed to
offensive
score a touchdown.
plays.
23 straight possessions. For those of
Great,
you keeping score,
great.
that's two full
23.
games. So yeah, let's see what happens. I think after
Can't
firing
we have
Shane
nice
Waldron,
things?
9 games into his season, I don't know what's gonna happen, but give me Green Bay.
Great. The next defense that we're going to recommend is those New Orleans Saints that are rostered at 31%. I get it. It's tough to trust the Saints. Um, but if you want to roll the dice, they're going against the Browns. And we saw what happened with Jameis. God damn it. Jameis Winston last time. He got picked up
You
a
figured it
lot of
out. You
times.
figured it out.
I know. I saved myself. He threw three interceptions and was sacked 6 times in the last outing. Uh, and the Saints will be playing at home for the second straight week after holding the Falcons to 17 points. And I just want to add this too, just real quick. Start thinking of playoffs. Start thinking of playoffs. Start thinking of defenses to grab. I want to give you a little insider pick because I don't think anyone in our league is watching at this point because it's almost 11 o'clock at night. Get the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They have a really easy fucking schedule coming up, and they're playing with their heads cut off. They want to win. It's up for grabs. I see them still striving to get in there. So if you got room, or if you don't get your waiver, the guy that you wanted that we just mentioned,
Agreed. Agreed.
this is a defense that you want to stash, bro, because this defense may help you win your league. because you never know. It could be that extra 5 points, 10 points. Shit, maybe you had Philly this past week and you got 20 points in one year league. You got to
Wild.
think of that. Got to think of that. And nobody's thinking about that right now. You want to know why? Because the Buccaneers are on a bye. Thank
Oh,
you.
not bad. Not
Mm.
bad. The other defense we're going to recommend 24% rostered is the
Oh,
Houston
shit.
Texans.
I was so
Houston Texans. Things set up pretty nicely for the Texans schedule wise, leading up to their Week 14 bye. Fresh off their 5 interception performance against the Lions, Houston plays the Cowboys, Titans, and Jaguars over the next 3 weeks.
okay. I like it. I like it a lot. But keep in mind, guys, like, yeah, playoffs are starting to come up. Like, might be the time. Definitely, this is your last week. For most weeks, this is your last week to make those trades. So if you're going to make something happen, if you're in it to win it, man, just let it go. Let it go. Those guys that haven't, that you drafted, that you keep starting, or that you thought were going to be like the top guys just aren't producing, you got to pivot. So maybe you can get it Juwan Jennings because he might help you win the league. He's not the sexy pick, right? Especially if you got like a DJ Moore, right? Everyone drafted DJ Moore thinking he was going to be good. He's not going to be good. He's just not. He's not. I mean, he's good, but fantasy purpose wise, he's not going to help you win that league. Maybe you go ahead and try to trade him at another maybe Green Plum and DJ Moore for Juwan Jennings. Somebody may take that trade because like, well, you're an idiot, right? But they're the idiots, not you. All right, phony homies. A little tit for tat. I'm not going to give away all my stuff because JC's in one of my leagues and I think he's taking notes.
I ain't taking notes. I'm literally writing shit down.
I know. You're like, oh, Tampa Bay. Anyways, that's all we
Yeah, I
got.
don't know
It was
why.
a great
I didn't
show.
see Tampa Bay. I didn't see Tampa Bay coming. And when you said that, I was like, where did
I
this come
know,
from? But
bro. I actually made like a little reminder because I'm weird. I was like, okay, who's got the best? And I saw that. I was like, all right, note to self. Anywho, fuck, I just gave that up. Damn it. I think you're
I
ahead
literally
of
wrote
me.
it down.
Yeah, you're probably ahead of me in the waiver thing too. But hopefully your waivers go through.
That's stupid.
Mine
Literally
doesn't.
wrote it backwards. I had to write that backwards just so you know,
Oh, good for
just to
you.
show
Look
it.
at you.
Yeah. Anyway, that's it for today's episode, funny homies. Remember to shoot your art sick questions to us by tweeting DL
Tweet FFG.
and use the hashtag as always DL.
Ask us FFG.
And if you'd like to send any other questions to us, and if you don't have Twitter or X as the young ones call it, you can send us those emails. DL, where can you send them?
Ask us FFG at gmail.com.
Pretty simple, pretty easy. Or you can leave those fantasy questions in our voicemail the rest of the week, or today, or tonight, or whenever you want. DL, where?
Well, it's your voicemail because don't call me. But you can call JC at 708 655 4508.
Exactly. Thanks for tuning in, funny homies. For DL and for me, thanks again for checking us out. We'll see you guys next week on another fantastic episode of the Fake Football Guy Show. Like, share, subscribe, and
Smash!
notification button.